Hello everyone, welcome back. I'm doing another speed build for you today, and I'm going to be upfront right at the beginning here. This is not one of my most favorite builds that I've made recently, if I'm being perfectly honest. So imagine, if you will, Sunday brunch with mom in a modern desert country club type of setting. That's the vibe that I was going for. What ended up happening was not quite that. It's not terrible. It's not one of my worst builds ever, but it's certainly not one of my best builds. I think it's okay. I think that there are the thing that I was going for in my head maybe can't be translated super well into The Sims 4, and maybe that's why I struggled a little bit. Also, my need for symmetry is driving me absolutely crazy because I feel like it's making it harder to make my builds, and it's gotten to a ridiculous level. It truly has gotten to a ridiculous level. I'm considering rescheduling everything that I had planned out for the next couple of weeks or so, and instead doing a few shell challenges. I feel like it's been too long since I've done some shell challenges, and I feel like I can break out of that need for symmetry if and when I do more shell challenges, because it forces me to not make everything absolutely symmetrical, because people often make shell challenges very asymmetrical. So I feel like that might help me, and I may very well change some of the plans. Like, I was considering doing an every room is a different color using a wheel spinner for my next video, but actually I might still do that because that could also break me out of that need for symmetry. You'll see in a minute. I spend a lot of time on this part of the build trying to get the bathrooms the right size, but also keeping it symmetrical with the kitchen. And I focus way too hard on this, and it's kind of obnoxious, honestly. I think also maybe that kind of ruined the build a little bit as well. That need to have the back of the building there where the kitchen and the bathrooms are be symmetrical. I think that contributed to ruining the overall build because I ended up making it bigger than what it really needed to be, honestly, because I was trying to make it so symmetrical. And then I ended up with these massive bathrooms. And it's like, well, I can't cut them in half because they're not even tiles. So I ended up making them more like family bathrooms with toddler potties and changing tables and all that kind of stuff. And then I forgot to include height chairs at the tables. I meant to put at least a couple of height chairs at a couple of the tables, but I forgot. And I just realized that right now while I'm doing the voiceover part. So, go me, I'm awesome. Or not, you know? But the point is, I was trying stuff, I was playing around, I was doing different things, and I ended up with a build that I don't love, but it did give me some ideas for future builds. And honestly, I feel like that is a little bit of a win, even if this build itself is a loss. And so I kind of look at it like you win some, you lose some. You know what I mean? In other news that I wanted to share very quickly with you, and you might hear about this a lot on here, not so much, just one or two times, but over on my more JSimLady channel, because I'm trying to get it out there. Apparently in House Flipper 2, you can actually upload your builds for other people to download. And so I don't know if it was available when I did my first house in House Flipper 2, but it is available now after doing my second house. And I did upload that. The link is down in the description, and it's at the pretty much at the very bottom under what is it under? It's under I think it's under game profiles or something like that. And you can download my single guy houseboat there. I uploaded it. It's a houseboat, obviously, but it's very heavily nautical themed, but for like a single guy living on his own, and it's like just a weekend house that he goes and hangs out at on the weekends. That's sort of what I ended up kind of having in my mind while I was building that. And you can watch that over on more JSimLady. It's almost done. Most of the episodes are up. I did the last major bit of it on a live stream, so those are all there. I've got a little bit more to finish up in the final video, which is maybe coming this week. Maybe. The thing is I feel like we're going to be entering into another busy time in The Sims 4. We had the birthday stuff, and it was like all out craziness for a while, and then we got a few weeks break, and then we got the 3 kits, which was a lot all at once. But then we got a little bit of a break again, right? So it's mostly been a little bit of a break since the birthday celebrations ended, sometime in March or April. But there was the expansion pack. You know what I'm trying to say, though, right? We've had a few weeks of a bit of a break in the Sims world now. The new roadmap for summer should be coming out any day. I think it might come out this week, probably at some point. And so I don't know how much I'm going to get done for my other channels right now. I do have lots of content made, at least for more JSimLady anyways. I just have to find the time to... I don't really have to do a lot of editing, but I do have to do some editing, and then there's making shorts for everything and whatnot, and it all becomes a whole thing, you know? So, that's all to say. I feel like we're gonna be entering a new busy era again. Like, we had a few weeks break, and now it's gonna be busy again, kind of off and on, for the next season of The Sims. And so that's kind of all just to say that my other channels might have to go on the back burner a little bit again, and I might only be able to fit videos in here and there where I can, which is fine. I mean, obviously, I love The Sims and I love making these videos. I just feel like it gets annoying for people when you start doing something and then you don't finish it. At the very least, I'm gonna finish that House Flipper 2 houseboat, because I do still have the one video yet to put up, and then make the movie for that, and that will definitely be coming very, very soon. Like, very soon. In fact, maybe potentially even tomorrow, if I have time, is when I might put up that last episode for that House Flipper 2 houseboat. So if you're interested in House Flipper 2, you should definitely go over to more JSimLady and check out that, because I'm also going to be doing a full movie length video of the whole houseboat reno and then doing a no commentary version of the movie as well, so that everybody has their choice on how they want to watch it. So yeah, that's to plug my second and third channels and get as many views over there as I can before I have to put those channels on a break temporarily while we focus on sim stuff again. I'm gonna be honest with you. I am really hoping that this summer brings us something good. People on Twitter are being very negative that they don't think it will, that it'll be something boring, that we haven't gotten any really good hints recently. We have the hints about the bands, which most people agree is probably coming late in the year, like sometime between October and December. So it's probably not going to be bands. And what will they sandwich between what they see as two major packs? The home businesses packs, businesses and hobbies, and the bands pack, because everybody seems to agree that that's going to be a big one. I don't particularly care, but I didn't particularly care about Get Famous either. It's nice to have it, as I've explained many times in the past. It's nice to have it in the game to make the game feel realistic and fully fleshed out. Just like it's nice to have horses, even though I don't overly care about horses, because that makes it more realistic and fleshed out as well. And just like it would be nice to have fairies, I'm sure they can come up with something interesting to do with fairies that's different from spellcasters, because that would make it more inclusive and full and fleshed out and complete for the occults. And so that kind of brings me to the next point I wanted to make. What do they think would go good in a summer pack that's sandwiched between two major packs? Let's be honest. The businesses and hobbies thing, even I wanted that one. Not the way they implemented it. Everybody is still so enamored with it, but outside of being the owner of the business, the pack is useless. It's useless on the customer side of things, unless you're the type that does rotational playing, or you're the type that has to micromanage every single thing going on in your entire save file. And I'm neither of those things. I pick a family, I play with that family, and I expect the world to continue on around me without me having to get too overly involved. So, yeah. Anyways, it was supposed to be major, and for most people, it does feel like it's still a very major pack, even if I don't see it that way. And the bands one is arguably even more major, because that is something that people have been like begging for years, and it would definitely flesh things out more and add to things more, especially since we already have Get Famous. It only makes sense now to add live active band related stuff in the same vein as Get Famous. So again, what do they sandwich between those two major packs? My first thought was something summery and maybe theme parky or amusement parky, or like maybe potentially a Destination World again, although they seem to have abandoned those, which is really annoying. They have it there. They might as well continue to use it. Make it more like Journey to Batuu, though, where you're not just seeing all the regular Sims that you would see in every other world, but maybe specific Sims that you would only get and or see in that world, and that's it. And perhaps you can't call them on the phone or interact with them in any way, shape, or form when you're back in the regular world type of thing. Something very Journey to Batu like. And maybe it's like theme park or something related or adjacent, or like, I don't think it's gonna be resort like, and so that also makes me think it's not gonna be theme park like, because when you think of that kind of stuff in a place um like Journey to Batu, you think hotels, and I definitely don't think they're giving us hotels this year. I think that they have the system in place for it, and I think they can absolutely add in hotels now, especially after having putting the system in place for businesses and hobbies. It looks like they are very close to being able to put hotels in, but I just don't think it's going to come this summer. I think it's too close to businesses and hobbies. So that leaves just the fact that we haven't had an occult in a while. So maybe we'll be getting fairies, because that's very summery, very woodsy, very magical and whatnot. I don't know. I don't know. These are just random speed build thoughts. That's what we're going to call them from now on. Random speed build thoughts. But the speed build is pretty much done now, so we're going to get into the walkthrough in just a second. Right now, actually. Okay, we'll start sort of at the back, but also kind of the entrance to the place, which is at the parking lot here. This is, I mean, it's basically the back of the building, but I did include the sign for the restaurant there. I don't know if you like it like that, but I thought it kind of worked, and it's the same sign as the front, so obviously it matches. Whoops, sorry about that. It might be a little weird because it looks like it's supposed to be sitting on the ground or something, but I think it's fine. And I just put some decorative flower shrubbery pots there to kind of even out the dumpster uh, room thingy over there. But, anyways, you enter into the restaurant here, and immediately you get the host desk, because this is a very nice restaurant and you cannot go any further until you've seen the host. And of course, here's the bathrooms. We're really high up. There we go. Here's the bathrooms, a nice big family bathroom, so you can take your toddlers potty, you can change your infants, and then a couple of sinks for everyone. The other bathroom is identical. And then we have a nice, big, bright, open kitchen. So you can have a couple of cooks in there making lots of food for everybody. And then here is the main dining room space. We've got seating for all sorts of different groups. 2 people, 3 people, an entire party. The flowers and candles. I was gonna start naming off where everything came from, but it's not. It's definitely not a limited pack of build. Like, there's stuff from My Wedding Stories. There's stuff from Tiny Living. There's just so much stuff in here. I'm so sorry about that. But I was going more for the vibe rather than trying to limit the packs, And so, yeah. But it's giving peach and green, sort of toned down, naturey brunch with mom vibes. And that's kind of what I was going for. Then we have the patio out here with all the string lights everywhere. The reason why I heavily focused on the string lights and stuff is because you're not going to want to sit out on this patio and eat in the middle of the hot desert day. This patio is more for nighttime eating, evening eating, not daytime eating. The main dining room in here where it's kept cool and comfortable, but where you still get a massive view of the outside area is what's meant for the daytime eating. So let's go upstairs. And the upstairs is even brighter and more open yet. Except for this back wall here, which is kind of sad. I tried really hard to get it as open as possible because you can kind of see the touristy trap area back there, and I thought that would be fun, but I was only able to fit 4 windows in there and still have it look good. But you can still see the other deserty scenery out the windows, and I thought that was fun. It's a bar, obviously, for your Sims to just either come and have drinks or wait for a table to be ready or whatever, and then some couches for lounging and checking out the scenery and chatting. And then here is another small outdoor patio area for eating and sort of checking out the scenery as well. Again, probably not something your Sims want to eat at during the day, but it's meant mostly for nighttime, and that's why I chose that fence, so that it was well lit up and sparkly and everything at night. I thought that would be perfect. Obviously, this very old 2014 gym build and the ones beyond it are not so nice to look at, but imagine there's better buildings over there to look at. Mixed, oh, there we go, my graphics came back. Mixed with the scenery of the desert and the little desert river lake thingy. I think it's sort of nice. Again, it's not my most favorite build that I've made. The vibe is there, the execution just maybe wasn't. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, on that note, I'm gonna leave this speed build here. If we do get the roadmap this week, if we get it on Tuesday or Thursday, really, I will probably have extra videos on this channel this week, so stay tuned for those. Don't forget to like if you enjoyed this video and subscribe, and maybe turn on the bell notification if you don't want to miss those roadmap videos and speculation videos and all that kind of stuff coming probably this week, honestly, but maybe as late as next week, and you don't want to miss them. We always have so much fun going over that kind of stuff. So yeah, on that note, I'll let you go. Bye.